story here. I really don't want to talk about this for too long, so I'm not going to. But it's all over social media, so we're going to touch on it. It's so you had a track meet in Frisco, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas. And you had these two twin brothers, the Metcalfs. One of them's name is Austin Metcalf. And they were sitting under a tent at the track meet that was specifically for their school. You have a kid named Carmelo Anthony. No, not the basketball player. That's what I thought too. I'm like, what is this? What is Melo doing at a high school track meet? My favorite Carmelo Anthony moment was like right after his wife cheated on him and divorced him in the playoffs. Kevin Garnett from the Celtics like hard fouled him going up for a layup. And Garnett walks up to Carmelo Anthony, not the murderer Carmelo, alleged murderer Carmelo Anthony, the basketball player, and looks him in the eye and goes, "Your wife tasted like Honey Nut Cheerios." Such a random thing to say. And then he missed one or two of the free throws. And then the next game, you've got it was back in Boston. You have the entire Celtics fan base chanting Honey Nut Cheerios every time the guy touched the ball. One of the most random, bizarre things I've ever seen. It was hilarious, though, back when basketball used to be fun. But this kid, Carmelo Anthony, goes into a tent that was not his. Why? We don't know. I'm not going to rush to a bunch of judgment on this until I have all of the facts. It's not looking good for Mr. Anthony, I will say. But I'm not going to assume why he was in the tent or whatever. Austin Metcalf, this kid goes up to him, says, "Hey, man, you're not supposed to be in this tent." There's some type of confrontation. Carmelo pulls out a knife, stabs Austin in the chest, kills him, and runs away. Told police, police officer says, "Hey, I've got the alleged suspect." He says, "There's nothing alleged about it. I did it." All right. Lots of questions there. Number one, why are you bringing a knife to a high school track meet? That would be question number one. I went through all of high school and played sports. Never once felt the need to bring a knife with me. That's question number one. Question number two, why did you feel the need to stab him? That's my follow-up. I don't know the answers to these questions. And we'll get them sooner or later. And I don't like, because this has become a whole race thing because it was a black kid that stabbed a white kid. Now, believe me, had the shoe been on the other foot, we're talking nationwide protests the next day. Absolutely no doubt about it. But I'm not trying to play into the racial politics of it. I'm seeing some people say on my quote unquote my side of the political spectrum say some really nasty and racist shit that I don't want anything to do with. And that's unfortunately just the way anonymity on the internet works. People get the balls to say things they'd never say in person, and maybe things that are over dramatizations of how they actually feel on these issues. But nonetheless, it's tragic. It's obviously tragic that the kid died. It's tragic that his brother had to hold him as he bled out. And it's also tragic that you've got a 17-year-old kid who had clearly, like we said when we had Barry Rubin on a couple weeks ago, clearly been let down by a lot of people in life. If he's at a point where he's stabbing someone over some type of minor dispute at a high school track event where he shouldn't have had a knife in the first place. The whole situation is tragic. And it really summarizes up this country. And supposedly the kid's father was in the home, but here's the thing, man. Even if we talk about fatherless homes, you can have a fatherless home if the father lives in the home. You guys understand what I mean by that, right? Just because dad is home doesn't mean anybody's really home. If your 17-year-old's carrying a knife to school and stabbing people at track meets, you didn't do a good job. Simply being physically present is like 25% of the battle. Like, you did the easy part. You wrote your name at the top of the test. You clocked into work at 8 o'clock in the morning, maybe 8:03, so you're a couple minutes late, right? You haven't even done any of the you haven't even done any of the legwork in terms of being a father. You're just there. That's the most basic expectation we have of you. Congratulations. And if your kid is bringing a knife to school and stabbing people with it, whether it's in self-defense or not, the fact that he had a knife shows that he's been let down by his support system. And I know that we're going to see the liberal activists clap back. Oh, Caleb, but he was being bullied. Okay. So what? So when a white kid walks in and shoots the school up, is that now acceptable? So it's acceptable to bring deadly weapons to school and use them on people if we're being bullied. By the way, these kids didn't even go to the same school, so shut up. Even if he was being bullied, it had nothing to do with these kids. If you're being bullied and you don't want to fight the kid with your fists, you need to get somebody else involved. So that the point still remains, the parents failed him. If he's bringing a weapon to deal with bullies at school, he needs to have the support system that tells him, son, you're either going to fight these people with your fists like a man, or you're going to get somebody involved who can put a stop to it. Use the resources available to you at school. And you know what? If the resources available at school are failing, that becomes your job as a parent to sit down and have a face-to-face come to Jesus moment with all the parties involved. If it ever gets to the point where your 17-year-old kid, whether he feels he's justified or he's just being a punk, feels the need to bring a deadly weapon to school, you have failed him. There's no question. That's the reality here, man. You've let him down. No other way around it. So they started a GoFundMe for both of these kids for people to donate. One for the Metcalf family for funeral and other support. The other for Carmelo Anthony's legal defense team and crab legs. That was messed up. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. But Carmelo Anthony has raised over $250,000 as of this recording Tuesday night for his legal defense. And I have seen, and you know what, it's one thing, but here's the thing, man. I have seen numerous fake posts demonizing the other kid that got stabbed, trying to paint him as some type of racist, right? Fake Instagram posts with images that we could verify didn't come from his account. They're from like Reddit posts 12 years ago with racist captions that have been doctored underneath it. Someone went as far to create a fake Facebook account for the Frisco chief of police and circulate the image of him saying that Carmelo Anthony acted in self-defense and this is just a formality. And, you know, Metcalf was a known racist and just all these horror. First off, by the way, guys, I don't know if you know this. It is a felony to impersonate a police officer. Just keep that in mind. I believe in all 50 states. I'm not a lawyer. Check with one, but I'm pretty sure. So any of you guys out there that are thinking about impersonating a police officer, go check first, but I'm pretty sure it's a felony. So keep that in mind for the future. So I'm just seeing people be all kinds of nasty, and we can't even have a good faith conversation about this. And that's how the left is. This kid has immediately become a martyr to them. Again, I'm not going to pass. We have to be very careful in media with instances like this because of Kyle Rittenhouse, because of the Covington kids. You have to be very, very careful hanging someone in the court of public opinion and using definitive words like murderer when we describe somebody. But given what we know about this case, it doesn't sound very good for Mr. Anthony. It's not looking too good. It's looking like he might have done it. And I don't know that. I could be wrong. But it's looking to me, based on the early information we have, that he probably did it. So if that's the case, if you guys really think he's innocent, why do you need to fabricate social media posts? Why do you need to lie about a 17-year-old who just got killed in a homicide? Why do we need to lie about these things? Ask yourselves that. I come on here and I make arguments, for various points that I believe in, sometimes to the dismay of my audience because they don't always agree with me. But I come on here and I make points, and I don't make things up to defend them. There have been a couple of times where, just like any other show, or we've been duped by an online hoax, but we come out and issue a retraction. We don't use it to push our narrative even further. We don't ignore it and move on. That's because I have confidence in what I'm saying. I don't feel the need to lie and make things up and doctor up social media posts to get my point across, because I don't feel like I have to do that. Because I think the truth backs up what I'm saying. The data backs up what I'm saying. Now, maybe other people read the data differently than me, but I'm not going out and just outright changing it. I'm not just making things up about people so it can fit my narrative. I'm not. I got to say, if you looked at the facts of this, if you looked at the cold, hard facts of this case and still felt inclined to donate to Mr. Anthony's defense fund, I have some serious questions about your character. I think there's some real tribalism going on there. An us versus them thing, rather than the truth versus bullshit. Rather than justice versus injustice. Justice is supposed to be colorblind, guys. I don't know how you can look at the initial facts and just go, yep, I got to donate money. Now, if more facts come out, they go to the grand jury and you're like, oh, this sounds sketchy. And then you decide to donate money. That's one thing, right? But to just go, yep, I'm going to donate money based on what we know, I got some serious questions about your moral character, your moral fortitude there. What's going on in your head? Are you that tribalistic? Like if I wouldn't donate money either way. I don't give a shit. But if the roles were reversed and I felt a kid had been wronged and I felt so inclined to donate to his legal defense because I felt that strongly that it was self-defense. By the way, stand your ground does not just mean you can kill anybody anywhere. That's not what that means. Contrary to what the left says, there are actual stipulations that have to be met. There has to be a critical threat on your life. Somebody saying something you don't like does not count as a critical threat on your life. Just so we're clear on that. And before you even bring up Kyle Rittenhouse, there's a difference between saying, hey, man, get the fuck out of my tent, and bashing somebody's head in the ground with a skateboard while your scumbag buddy pulls a gun on him. A little bit of a difference there. Just so we're clear. Kyle Rittenhouse might have been the most clear-cut case of self-defense. By the way, all the people Kyle Rittenhouse shot, white people. Don't even start with me. So, I mean, this is way worse than the Jake Gardner thing. And everybody went after Jake Gardner as some type of white supremacist murderer. Jake Gardner was defending his property, guys. That's it. So I would implore everybody to just I say this with everything. Whether it's a police shooting, whether it's something like this, just wait until the facts come out on either side. Don't jump to conclusions. The facts we currently have, don't tend to look too good for one particular party involved here. But that doesn't mean there might not be additional context. I don't know. And I think that's a fair take, and I'm going to get eaten alive for that because I have the balls to come on here and say, I don't actually know. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I don't actually know what happened. It's definitely leaning one way, but I can't say definitively either way. And I'll get attacked for that, for having the attitude that, let's be honest, if everybody shared my sentiment there, the country would be a whole hell of a lot better off. Okay.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click the link in the description to get the full episode on Rumble. If you prefer to listen along, you could actually get us on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. You can also go to www.outlawstreamers.com to learn more about not just my show, but tons of other great shows and all the exciting projects they have coming up. Follow my socials at Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram, at Caleb Salvatore Comedy on the Chinese Spy app that is TikTok, and be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks, and we'll see you every Saturday for brand new episodes of That's Based. Peace.